Hi, you guys, welcome back to the channel. It is so good to see you whenever you're watching this, and I am so excited for today's reading. We are going to be diving into the truth about your divine partnership. Now, this is a really cool reading because we're going to uncover some things that maybe you haven't been able to see or articulate. Just know that this is a safe space, and whatever comes up is meant for your highest good. This reading is timeless, so the messages will find you when you need them most. So, just breathe and know that we're here to explore, not to judge. Okay? I have some really cool decks that are just waiting to share their wisdom. We're going to be looking at the foundations, the catalysts, the convergence, and the unspoken needs within your connection. It's gonna be good, you guys. So, for our piles today, we have 4 gorgeous crystals. First, we have the Citrine star, representing grounding and hidden foundations. This is about what needs to be stable before growth can occur. Then, for pile 2, we have the Jasper pyramid, representing transformative energies and altered states, helping you recognize the catalysts reshaping your connection. Next, for pile 3, we have the clear Quartz dragon, symbolizing balance and bridging worlds, showing you where your individual paths converge into shared destiny. And finally, for pile 4, we have the Selenite point, representing nurturing and tender echoes, highlighting the unspoken needs yearning for acknowledgement. Take a deep breath, close your eyes if you need to, and trust your intuition to guide you. There is absolutely no pressure to pick just one pile. Maybe more than one resonates, and that's okay. Take a moment now to set the intention that whatever you need to see will come through, but only if you are ready. Trust yourself. You've got this. Go ahead and pause the video and choose what you feel most drawn to, and I'll see you in your reading. Hey there, my friend. So glad you chose the Citrine star. This crystal is all about grounding, which is perfect because this whole reading is about hidden foundations, what needs to be stable before you can really grow. And with these cards, this is going to be good. Okay, first up we have the 5 of Cups. Now this card. It's a bummer, I'm not gonna lie. It's about loss, disappointment, maybe even some regret. You might be focusing on what's been spilled, what's gone wrong, those 3 cups that are overturned, right? Like, dwelling on past mistakes or missed opportunities, that kind of thing. Feeling sorry for yourself, maybe. But look closely because there are still 2 cups standing. The Citrine star wants you to stay grounded here, even in the sadness. Don't let the disappointment completely overshadow what you still have. It's about acknowledging the hurt, like really feeling it, but not letting it consume you, you know? It's like, okay, that sucked, but what can I learn from it and what good remains? And that leads us perfectly into the Strength card. I love this card. It's all about inner power, courage, and resilience. You've got this incredible strength within you, even if you don't always see it, and that's the foundation you need. This isn't about brute force, it's about gentle strength, compassion, and patience, especially with yourself. Like, after the 5 of Cups, you might be feeling pretty down, but strength is saying, hey, you've got this. You've overcome challenges before, and you can do it again. It's about taming your inner critic, finding that self-compassion, and remembering your worth. Citrine helps you ground that self-belief to really feel it in your bones. Okay, are you ready for the Page of Wands? Because this is where things get exciting. This card is pure inspiration, new ideas, and a fresh start. It's like, after acknowledging the loss and finding your strength, you're ready to jump into something new with enthusiasm and optimism. This could be a new project, a new relationship, a new way of thinking, anything that sparks your creativity and passion. The page is young and eager, full of energy, but maybe a little inexperienced, so there might be some learning along the way. The Citrine star reminds you to stay grounded as you explore these new possibilities. Don't get carried away, but also don't be afraid to take risks and try something different. It's about embracing the adventure with an open heart and a clear mind. I'm getting a strong sense that whatever this new beginning is, it's going to be so fulfilling as long as you stay connected to that inner strength we saw earlier. This page is coming in hot, and I cannot wait to see where this takes you. Okay, wow, Judgment, that's a big one. After all that loss and then, rediscovering your strength and getting all fired up with the Page of Wands, Judgment is like a cosmic check-in. It's intense, I'm not gonna lie, but don't freak out. Remember that citrine star, okay? We're grounded. This card at its core is about awakening, girl. It's a wake-up call, a moment of truth. You know, like after dealing with those spilled cups, finding your inner lioness, and then running headfirst into new adventures, the universe is asking, okay, so what have you learned? It's a time for serious self-reflection. Are you living in alignment with your true self? Are you making choices that honor your journey? This isn't about being harshly judged by some external force. It's about you evaluating your own actions, your own beliefs, your own patterns. Maybe some things need to be cleared away, some old baggage needs to be released, you know? It could be a relationship pattern, a career path that's no longer serving you, or even just a limiting belief that's been holding you back. It's like time to face the music and decide what's worth keeping and what needs to go. And the cool thing is, this isn't just about endings. Judgment is also about rebirth. It's about rising from the ashes, stronger and wiser than before. Think of it as a phoenix moment. This card is all about taking responsibility for your own life. It's about owning your past, learning from your mistakes, and stepping into your power. Remember, we're talking about hidden foundations here. Before you can really build something amazing, you gotta clear the ground, right? You gotta make sure the foundation is solid. And that's where the citrine star comes in. It's helping you stay grounded, stay centered, as you go through this process of self-evaluation. Don't get swept away by fear or guilt. Just breathe, connect with your inner strength, remember that strength card, and trust that you're exactly where you need to be. This is a huge turning point, and I'm so excited for you. So get ready to make some bold choices, release what no longer serves you, and step into a brighter, more authentic future. Okay, deep breaths, because the next card is gonna reveal even more about this transformation. Okay, wow, so after all that, with the Five of Cups and Strength and the Page of Wands and then that huge Judgment card moment, we pull the Ace of Pentacles. I mean, are you kidding me? This is like the universe throwing you a bone and saying, okay, you've done the work, here's a gift. So, the Ace of Pentacles in general is all about new beginnings, but like in the real world, you know. Like not just ideas or feelings, but actual, tangible stuff. It's about new opportunities related to your career, your finances, your home, basically anything that makes you feel secure and stable. And after that Judgment card, this ace is even more powerful, right? Because you've cleared out all the old junk, you've faced your truths, and now you're ready to build something amazing on solid ground. This could mean a new job, a new source of income, a new home, or even just a new sense of security within yourself, which then attracts all those things, you know? But since we're talking about a divine partnership, this ace takes on a whole new meaning. Think about it. After all that emotional stuff, after digging deep and figuring out what you really want, this could be the universe saying, okay, here's the chance to build a real foundation with this person. Like, not just butterflies and romance, but actual, practical commitment. This could be about moving in together, starting a business together, making a long-term plan, like something that shows you're both serious about this. It's like you've both grown as individuals. Now, what kind of partnership do you want? And how do you create it practically? And remember that citrine star, right? This isn't just some Piantheschi dream. The citrine wants you to ground this energy, to make it real. So, think about what that looks like for you. What tangible steps can you take to build a stronger, more secure foundation with this person? What are the practical things that will make this partnership last? Maybe it's about setting financial goals together, or creating a shared vision for the future, or buying a house. This is such a positive sign, but it's also a call to action. The universe is giving you the opportunity, but you have to be willing to put in the work to make it a reality. So, get ready to roll up your sleeves and build something amazing. I am so excited for this next card, because this is when we really get to see what it is that you're building towards, you know? What is the ace leading to? Okay, deep breaths. So, after that Ace of Pentacles and the promise of a new foundation, you pull the Hanged Man. Okay, so don't freak out. It's not necessarily a bad card, but it definitely throws a curveball, you know? The Hanged Man is all about surrender, like willingly choosing to release control, to see things from a different perspective. It's a pause. It's like you've been rushing forward, building, doing all the things, and now the universe is saying, hold up, time to hang out for a sec. It's about letting go of old patterns, old beliefs, anything that's been holding you back. It can feel uncomfortable, like you're stuck, but it's really a period of deep introspection and spiritual growth. Now, how does this connect to everything else we've seen? Well, remember that 5 of Cups, all that loss and disappointment. The Hanged Man could be saying that you need to surrender those feelings, to truly release them in order to move forward. And that strength we saw, maybe you need to use that inner strength to accept this period of waiting, this feeling of being suspended. The Page of Wands energy might need to be put on pause for a sec. That excitement is great, but the Hanged Man wants you to be sure you're going in the right direction. And after that huge Judgment card moment, you really gotta examine yourself to make sure you're not repeating old patterns, you know? But what does this mean for your divine partnership, right? After that amazing Ace of Pentacles. Well, maybe it's about surrendering your expectations, those expectations, like really examine them. Maybe it's about trusting the process, even when you don't see immediate results. It's possible that one or both of you need to make a sacrifice of some kind for this relationship to truly thrive. Maybe it means giving up some control, letting the other person take the lead in certain areas. Maybe it's just about surrendering to the unknown, trusting that the universe has a plan for both of you, even if you can't see it right now. This could even be a need to sacrifice some part of yourself for the greater good of the relationship, and that doesn't mean lose yourself, but like compromise. And that Citrine star, remember it's there to ground you. Stay present, stay connected to your intuition, and trust that this period of surrender is ultimately leading you to something amazing. You know, sometimes the greatest growth comes from letting go. Okay, I am so curious to see what the final outcome is going to be. Okay, so after all that introspection with the Hanged Man, the universe throws us the Fool. I mean, what? Right when you think you need to just chill and surrender, we get this crazy card about new beginnings. It's like the universe is messing with us, but in a good way, maybe? So, the Fool in general is all about jumping into the unknown with childlike faith. It's about new adventures, optimism, and not being afraid to take risks, you know? It's that feeling of standing at the edge of a cliff and just knowing you have to jump, even if you don't know where you're going to land. Total trust. Complete faith. But how does this fit with the Hanged Man? Because that's the tricky part, right? We were just talking about surrendering, pausing, and now we're supposed to leap. Well, maybe it's about surrendering to the leap itself. Like, you've done all that introspection, you've released those old patterns, and now you're ready to trust that the universe is going to catch you. You're surrendering to the flow. And what about this divine partnership we're talking about? Okay, so maybe this leap of faith is something you need to do together. Like, after all that soul-searching, maybe you're both ready to take a chance on this relationship, to jump in with both feet and see where it takes you. It could mean taking a trip together, or making a big decision about your future, or just opening your hearts to each other in a whole new way, and the Citrine star wants you to stay grounded as you take this leap. Don't be reckless. Remember, we're building a foundation here. Be smart, be intentional, but don't be afraid to take a risk. The Fool is asking you to trust your intuition and the connection you have with this person. So, yeah, the Fool after the Hanged Man might seem confusing, but I think it's actually really beautiful, you know. It's about finding that balance between surrender and action, between trusting the universe and taking responsibility for your own life, and I just get this sense that whatever happens next is going to be so exciting, as long as you stay true to yourself and to each other. Okay, are you ready for the final card? Because this is going to tell us everything. Okay, my friend, so here we are, the very last card. Ready? After everything we've been through in this reading together, from dealing with loss, finding that inner strength, jumping into new ideas, facing judgment, building new foundations, surrendering control, and then taking a leap of faith, it all comes down to this, the Six of Swords. Now this card, it's all about moving on, transition, leaving troubled waters behind. Think of it as a journey, like literally or metaphorically, you know? You're sailing away from a difficult situation, heading towards calmer seas. It's about accepting that things can't stay the same, that you need to leave the past behind in order to find peace and healing. You know. It's not always easy, there can be some sadness involved, but it's a necessary step. It's like you've learned your lessons, you've grown as a person, and now it's time to use that wisdom to create a better future. Now, how does this connect to your divine partnership? Well, maybe it's about leaving behind old patterns or expectations in the relationship. Remember that Five of Cups. Maybe there were some hurts or disappointments that you need to release. And that Hanged Man, right? Maybe you had to surrender some control, let go of your own expectations for the sake of the relationship. This Six of Swords says, okay, you've done the work, now it's time to move forward together. It's about consciously choosing to create a more peaceful, harmonious partnership. It's about communicating openly, resolving conflicts, and supporting each other's growth. And that Fool energy, you're leaping into this new phase together. It's really about intentionally choosing to sail toward calmer waters with your partner. It's trusting that even if there are storms along the way, you can weather them together because, remember that Ace of Pentacles. You're building something real here. This card is saying the work isn't over, but there is a definite path forward, and it will be so incredibly rewarding if you put in the effort. And remember that Citrine star? Grounding is key here. As you navigate these new waters, stay connected to your values, to your intuition, and to each other, and don't forget that strength. This isn't about escaping, it's about making a conscious choice to create a more fulfilling partnership, one step at a time. So, trust the journey, my friend. You've got this. The universe is supporting you every step of the way. Okay, so you chose the Jasper pyramid. This crystal is all about transformation, which is perfect because this reading is themed around altered states, how catalysts reshape your connections. Get ready, because these cards are showing us some major shifts happening in your divine partnership. It's like, hold on tight, things are about to get real. All right, first up, we've got the Three of Cups. Ooh, this is all about celebration, joy, connection. Think of it like the honeymoon phase, right? Everything's exciting, you're feeling so connected, like you're on top of the world with this person. Maybe you're planning fun getaways or just really enjoying each other's company. It's that feeling of, wow, I've finally found my tribe, you know? A real sense of belonging and happiness. This could also mean there are other people involved, like close friends who are really supportive of your relationship, amplifying that joy. Soaking up every moment and feeling grateful for the connection and like really basking in the glow of new love or a deepened bond. But then we have the Three of Swords. Okay, so after all that happiness, bam, heartbreak. This card is like a punch to the gut, honestly. It represents pain, betrayal, maybe a misunderstanding that cuts deep. It could be that something comes to light that really shakes the foundation of the relationship. Arguments, hurt feelings, a sense of being let down. This doesn't necessarily mean the end, but it's a serious wake-up call. You might be feeling really vulnerable and exposed. This card is urging you to really face the pain and not run from it. You can't ignore it, you have to feel it to heal it, you know? Is there a third party involved in some way? This card is asking for radical honesty with yourself and each other. And finally, we see the Eight of Cups. So, after the heartbreak, you're walking away. This isn't necessarily a negative thing, though. It's about recognizing that something isn't serving you anymore and having the courage to leave it behind, even if it's painful. It's like you're saying, I deserve better, and choosing your own well-being. You're realizing that the initial joy has faded and the pain might outweigh the happiness. This could mean physically walking away from the relationship, or it could mean emotionally detaching and creating some distance. Trusting your intuition and knowing when it's time to move on, even though it's hard. This isn't about giving up, it's about honoring yourself and your needs and giving yourself permission to find something better suited for your journey. Alright, so after walking away, we've got the Lovers. Ooh, this is a big one, okay? So it's interesting, right? Because you're walking away, but then the Lovers card shows up, so it's like, are you really walking away, or is there still a choice to be made here? You know, this card, it's all about choices, decisions, and unions, like big, important ones. It's about aligning with your values and making choices that are true to yourself, but also it represents partnerships and connections. So, with everything that's happened, like the joy, the heartbreak, and then deciding to walk away, this card is saying, okay, hold on, there's still a decision to be made. It's not necessarily a clear-cut thing. It's like, do you choose to go back and try to work things out? Or do you choose to fully embrace this new path that you're on, this path of walking away? It's a major crossroads moment. This could be about choosing self-love and self-respect, like saying, I deserve better, I'm going to move on. Or it could be about saying, okay, this relationship is worth fighting for, let's see if we can rebuild. You know, given the transformation theme of the Jasper pyramid and how this whole reading is about altered states, this choice itself is the catalyst. Whatever decision you make here, it's going to completely change the trajectory of this connection. It's like, this is the moment where everything shifts and the future of this partnership hangs in the balance. It's a really powerful card because it's asking you to look at your values, look at what you truly want, and make a conscious decision because either way, things are going to be different. Even if you choose to go back, things won't be the same after everything that's happened. This card is urging you to really tune into your intuition and ask yourself, what is the right choice for me? What is the right choice for my highest good? And it's not always easy, right? Because sometimes the right choice is the harder one. Sometimes it's easier to just stay in a situation that you're familiar with, even if it's not serving you, but this card is saying, no, you need to make a conscious choice, and that choice is going to determine everything. Oh, I'm excited to see what comes next, because this is such a pivotal point. Okay, so after all that drama, we've got the Seven of Pentacles. Okay, so, after making that choice with the lovers, whatever you decide, this card is about looking at the long game. It's like you've put in the work, you've planted the seeds, but you're not seeing the full harvest yet, you know? It's about patience and perseverance. So this could mean, if you decide to go back to the relationship, it's gonna take work, right? It's not going to be all sunshine and roses immediately. You're gonna have to put in the effort to rebuild trust, to communicate better, and to really nurture the connection. It's like you're tending to a garden and you gotta weed out the bad stuff, water the good stuff, and give it time to grow. Or, if you decide to walk away, this card could be about, the work you're putting into yourself. You're investing in your own healing, your own growth, and it's not going to happen overnight. You gotta be patient with yourself, celebrate the small victories, and trust that you're on the right path, even if you don't see the full picture yet. See, this card is all about perspective. It's about taking a step back and assessing where you're at, what you've accomplished, and what still needs to be done. It's like you're looking at your investments, whether it's in the relationship or in yourself, and you're asking, is this paying off? Is this worth it? But the thing is, you can't expect instant gratification, you know. It takes time to see the fruits of your labor. But it's also about being realistic, because this card isn't just about blindly hopping for the best. It's about really evaluating if your efforts are producing the results you want. Are you putting in the right kind of work? Are you focusing your energy in the right places? You know. This is where the altered states theme comes in, because maybe your perspective needs to shift to see things more clearly. This is a catalyst for change. So, it really depends on what you choose with the lovers. If you go back, are you actually seeing progress, or are you just stuck in the same old patterns? If you walk away, are you truly investing in yourself, or are you just running from the pain? The Seven of Pentacles is asking you to be honest with yourself, and to make sure your actions are aligned with your goals and that you're being realistic about this whole situation. Okay, I'm dying to know what the final card is, because this is getting intense. Alright, so next up, we've got the Eight of Swords. Ooh, okay, this is interesting, especially after everything we've just seen, you know? So this card, in general, it's all about feeling trapped, feeling restricted, feeling like you don't have any options, you know? It's that feeling of being stuck in a situation and not seeing a way out. And with everything that's happened so far, the heartbreak, the walking away, the big decision with the lovers, and then, really assessing things with the Seven of Pentacles, this card is kind of showing the aftermath of all that, you know. It's whatever choice you made with the lovers, it's led you to this point where you're feeling really stuck and restricted, and you can't move forward. So, if you chose to go back to the relationship, maybe you're feeling trapped in old patterns, you know? You're trying to make it work, but you're just running into the same problems over and over again. You're feeling like you can't escape the drama or the pain. Or, if you chose to walk away, maybe you're feeling trapped by your own fears, you know? Like, you're scared to be alone, you're scared to start over, and so you're just stuck in this limbo, not really moving forward, not really healing, just kind of existing, you know? But like, here's the thing, this card isn't about actually being trapped, it's about feeling trapped, you know? It's about your own perceptions and your own limiting beliefs. It's about the stories you're telling yourself about why you can't move forward. Remember, we've got that Jasper pyramid energy here, so this is all about transformation. So, this card is really urging you to challenge those beliefs and to see that you actually have more power and more options than you think you do. Like, you're not really bound by these swords, you're holding them there yourself, you know? It's about recognizing those self-imposed restrictions and finding the courage to break free. It's a catalyst. Okay, I am so excited to see what the final card is, because I feel like it's gonna show you, like, what those options are or, like, how to break free from these limitations. Because, like, this is just the feeling, not the reality. Okay, so after feeling so trapped with the Eight of Swords, like, girl, we need some good news, and honey, do we have it? Because we have the Sun. Okay, this is like the best card in the deck, you know? It's pure joy, pure happiness, pure optimism. Like, after all that darkness, all that feeling stuck, this card is like, wake up and smell the sunshine, you know? So, like, in general, the Sun is all about clarity, about seeing things clearly, about feeling confident and radiant. It's about success, abundance, and just like pure, unadulterated joy. Think of it like finally coming out of a long, dark tunnel and seeing the light at the end, you know? Like, everything suddenly makes sense, and you're just filled with this feeling of like, yes, I got this. So, connecting this to everything else, like, after the heartbreak and the walking away and that tough decision with the lovers, and then feeling so stuck with the Eight of Swords, the Sun is showing you that there is a way out, you know? That there is light at the end of the tunnel. It's like, whatever choice you made with the lovers, it doesn't have to define you, it doesn't have to trap you. Like, if you chose to go back to the relationship, the Sun is saying that, like, you can find happiness again, you can rebuild that connection, but it's gonna require, like, a shift in perspective, you know? You gotta let go of the past, forgive each other, and really focus on creating a new, brighter future together. You know. And it's like, you gotta see the good in each other. You gotta focus on the positive aspects of the relationship and really nurture that joy and that connection. Or, if you chose to walk away, the Sun is saying that, like, you are on the right path, you are making the right decision for yourself. And that, like, even though it might be hard right now, you're gonna find happiness and fulfillment on your own, you know? It's like, you're gonna find your own sunshine, you're gonna create your own joy, and you're gonna attract amazing things into your life. And see, this is where the altered states theme really comes in, because the Sun is all about changing your perspective, you know? It's about seeing the good in every situation. It's about choosing to be optimistic, even when things are tough. It's about recognizing that you have the power to create your own reality and to choose your own happiness. It's like you have the power to, like, literally bring the sunshine into your own life, you know? This is a huge catalyst, and it is all about transformation, just like that Jasper pyramid. It's like, after all that darkness, after all that feeling stuck, the Sun is saying, okay, it's time to step into your power, it's time to shine, it's time to be happy. Okay, I am so excited to see what the final card is, because this is just like pure magic. Alright, so after all of that, after finding the Sun, we get the Moon. Ooh, honey, this is all about intuition, dreams, and the subconscious. Like, it's that feeling of mystery and uncertainty, but also like a deep connection to your inner wisdom. It's about trusting your gut, even when things aren't clear, you know? So, like, the Sun is all about clarity, right? But the Moon is like, okay, hold on, there's still some stuff you need to uncover, you know? It's like, the journey isn't over yet, but you're on the right path. So, with everything that's happened, all the ups and downs, all the choices, this card is saying, okay, now it's time to really tune into your intuition and listen to what your heart is telling you. So, if you chose to go back to the relationship, the Moon is urging you to, like, really look beneath the surface, you know? Are you truly happy, or are you just clinging to something familiar? Are you seeing the relationship for what it really is, or are you just projecting your hopes and dreams onto it? Trust those feelings, even if they scare you. And if you chose to walk away, the moon is saying that it's okay to feel uncertain, you know? It's okay to not have all the answers right now. You're on a journey of self-discovery, and it's going to take time to figure things out. Trust that you're being guided and that the universe has your back. You know, remember that Jasper pyramid and how it's all about transformation. Well, the moon is showing you that transformation isn't always a linear process, you know? It's not always about going from point A to point B in a straight line. Sometimes it's about wandering through the darkness, exploring the unknown, and trusting that you'll eventually find your way. Just keep going. The Altered States theme is all about seeing things differently, right? The moon is the ultimate card for that, because it's about seeing beyond the surface and tapping into your subconscious mind. It's about recognizing that things aren't always as they seem, and that there's always more to the story, and that you are capable of finding your way. So, no matter what you decide, remember to trust yourself, trust your intuition, and trust that you're on the right path. You are so powerful, and you have everything you need inside of you to create the life that you want. This is your time, your transformation, and you can do it. All right, my friend, if you chose the clear quartz dragon, you're here because you need some balancing in your life, specifically when it comes to love. And the whole theme of this reading is all about bridging worlds and how your individual paths are going to converge into a shared destiny, which is, so cool. So, let's dive right into these cards. The first card we have here is the Six of Wands. Okay, so right off the bat, I'm seeing victory. Like, you've overcome something, or maybe you're about to. There's a lot of public recognition coming your way. This could mean that you've been working really hard on yourself, maybe healing from past relationships, and people are starting to notice. You're glowing, you're shining, and you're attracting attention, and that attention is totally deserved, you earned it. Or it could mean that you and your person have overcome some major challenges in your relationship, and you're finally seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, and everyone around you is celebrating your success. And then we have the Star, which, oh my gosh, is such a beautiful card. It's all about hope, healing, and renewed faith. So, after that victory with the Six of Wands, you're entering a period of, deep healing. Think of it as a cosmic shower washing away all the doubts and fears that you've been holding onto. This card is telling you to have faith, even when things seem dark, because the universe is totally conspiring to bring you exactly what you need. It's like you've proven you can overcome challenges, and now it's time to believe that good things are coming, amazing things. And finally, we have the Fool, which is, the ultimate card of new beginnings. This is all about taking a leap of faith, even when you don't know where you're going to land. It could mean starting a brand new relationship, or it could mean taking your current relationship to the next level. The thing about the Fool is that it's a little bit risky, but it's also incredibly exciting. You're stepping into the unknown with an open heart and a willingness to trust that everything is going to work out exactly as it should. It's like the universe is saying, okay, you've healed, you've learned, now it's time to jump. So, you might feel nervous, but deep down, you know this is the right path for you, and you're ready to embrace it, even with all the uncertainty. So, putting it all together, it's like you're stepping into a brand new chapter, my friend. You've achieved something amazing, you've healed from past wounds, and now you're ready to take a chance on love. It is like all the pieces are falling into place for this divine partnership to really blossom. Oh my gosh, okay, so with all that amazing energy from the Six of Wands, the Star, and the Fool, it feels like everything's just aligning perfectly for you, right? But now we have the Nine of Wands, and it's hold on a second. It's almost like the universe is saying, not so fast, there might be a few more tests. Don't freak out, okay? This isn't a bad card at all, but it's definitely a reality check. So, the Nine of Wands is all about resilience, about being battle-tested, you know? You've come so far, you've healed, you're ready to jump into this new beginning, but this card is asking you to remember what you've learned along the way. It's like you're standing your ground, maybe a little bit wounded, but definitely not defeated. You're still holding your wand high, ready to defend what you've built. Maybe there are still some lingering doubts from past relationships, or maybe there's some external pressure that's making you feel like you need to protect yourself or your relationship. It could be family members who don't quite understand your connection, or maybe friends who are projecting their own fears onto you. Whatever it is, this card is telling you to stay strong and to maintain your boundaries. Don't let anyone steal your joy or make you question what you know in your heart to be true. But also, this Nine of Wands is a reminder that you don't have to do it all alone. You've got your support system, you've got the universe on your side, and you've got that amazing inner strength that you've been cultivating. So, don't be afraid to lean on others when you need to, and don't be afraid to ask for help. It's not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of wisdom. And even though this card might feel a little bit heavy, it's actually a really empowering card because it shows how far you've come. You're not the same person you were before, you're stronger, you're wiser, and you're more resilient. So, embrace that strength and use it to navigate any challenges that come your way. Remember that balancing crystal, too. This is all about finding that balance between protecting yourself and staying open to the amazing possibilities that are unfolding for you. Okay, you got this. Alright, so next up we have the Wheel of Fortune. Oh my gosh, this is huge. After all that hard work, all that healing, all that taking a leap of faith, the universe is like, okay, it's time to see what happens. This card is all about cycles, destiny, and good luck, but also the inevitable ups and downs of life. So remember that victory with the Six of Wands. And that hope and healing from the Star, and even that little bit of hold on energy from the Nine of Wands. Well, the Wheel of Fortune is saying that all of that has led you to this moment. It's like you've prepared yourself, you've put in the work, and now it's time to trust the journey, even when you don't know exactly where it's going to lead. This card can mean that things are about to change, in a really big way. Maybe you're going to meet your person unexpectedly, or maybe your current relationship is about to take a major step forward. It could also mean that some old patterns are about to come back around, but this time, you're ready to handle them differently. Think of it like this, like a real wheel. Sometimes you're on top, and sometimes you're on the bottom, but the wheel keeps turning. So even if things get a little bit challenging, remember that it's just a temporary phase, and things will eventually get better. But also, when things are going really well, remember to stay grounded and grateful, because the wheel will keep turning, And connecting it back to that clear quartz dragon energy, it's all about finding balance in the midst of change. It's about trusting that everything is happening for a reason, even when you can't see the bigger picture. You have to just trust your path and try to enjoy the ride. So, get ready for some twists and turns, my friend. This Wheel of Fortune energy is so powerful, and it's going to be so interesting to see how it all plays out. Now, I am so excited to see what the next card is going to bring. What is the universe trying to tell us about this next phase of the journey? Oh my gosh, okay, you are not going to believe this, okay? So, after all that Wheel of Fortune energy, all that external change and destiny, now we get the High Priestess. It's like the universe is saying, okay, hold on, before you go spinning off into all these new directions, you need to check in with yourself, really check in. Because this card, the High Priestess, it's all about intuition, about secrets, about the subconscious, It's about what's hidden beneath the surface. So, the Wheel of Fortune is all about external forces, right? But the High Priestess is all about your internal compass. It's like you can be riding this wave of fate, but you also need to be listening to your own inner voice, It's so important. She is that quiet knowing, that deep understanding that doesn't come from logic or reason, but from something much more profound. Remember that leap of faith with the Fool. Well, the High Priestess is like the wise woman who whispers in the fool's ear, guiding them even when they can't see the path ahead. Now, when it comes to your divine partnership, this card is huge. It could mean that there are some things you're not seeing clearly, or maybe some things that your person isn't being totally upfront about, Not necessarily in a bad way, but maybe there are some unspoken truths or hidden feelings that need to be brought to the surface. And the only way to uncover those things is by tapping into your intuition. What does your gut tell you? What are your dreams telling you? Pay attention to those subtle signs and synchronicities, because the High Priestess speaks in whispers, not shouts. It's so easy to miss, This also connects back to that clear quartz dragon energy we talked about, because it's all about balancing the external and the internal. It's about finding that equilibrium between what's happening around you and what's happening within you, you know? So, don't get swept away by the excitement of the Wheel of Fortune. Take some time to be still, to meditate, to connect with your inner self, and listen to what the High Priestess has to tell you. The wheel is turning, and the next phase requires your own internal guidance. You know, I'm so curious what our last card will say about actually integrating this. Oh my gosh, okay, so after all that internal work with the High Priestess, we pull the Lovers. Like, could this be any more perfect for a divine partnership reading? It's like, yes, duh, love is totally in the air. You know, this card is so obviously about relationships and partnerships, but it's not just about romantic love. It's about any kind of deep connection where two people, or two energies, come together to create something new. So, like, on the surface, this could totally mean that you're about to meet your soulmate, if you haven't already, or that your current relationship is about to get, like, super serious. But like, hold on a second, because the Lovers is so much more than just hearts and flowers, you know? It's really about choices, my friend. Like, big, important, life-altering choices. It's about aligning your values and making decisions that are in harmony with your true self. So, remember that Wheel of Fortune energy? All that change and destiny swirling around. Well, the Lovers is saying that you have the power to steer that wheel, but you need to be really clear about what you want and what you believe in. This isn't just about choosing a partner. It's about choosing a path. It's about deciding what kind of life you want to create and who you want to create it with. And it's not always an easy choice, you know. Sometimes you have to choose between two things that you both really want, or between what your heart wants and what your head thinks is best. But that High Priestess energy is going to help you make the right call. Like, maybe you and your person have different career goals, or different ideas about where you want to live, or how you want to raise a family. The Lovers is asking you to have an open and honest conversation about those differences, and to find a way to compromise and create a shared vision for the future. This also goes back to that Nine of Wands energy. You've built something strong, but now you need to actively choose to protect it by making aligned decisions. And remember the Fool, that leap of faith. The Lovers is saying that you're not jumping into the unknown blindly. You're making a conscious choice to step into a new level of commitment and to create a partnership that is based on mutual respect, understanding, and shared values. And connecting it all back to that clear quartz dragon, it is all about finding balance. Balancing your own needs with the needs of your partner, balancing your individual dreams with your shared goals, and balancing your intuition with your logic. This is like a major turning point, my friend, and it's all about choosing love, choosing alignment, and choosing a future that is in harmony with your soul. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to see what happens next. What is the universe going to throw at you now? Oh my gosh, you guys, okay, so after this whole journey from like celebrating victories to healing old wounds to making conscious choices in love, we finally arrive at the Six of Pentacles. Like, what does it all mean? What is this divine partnership really about? Well, the Six of Pentacles is all about generosity, about giving and receiving, about balance and abundance, you know. It's like you've put in all this work, you've overcome so many challenges, and now the universe is like, okay, it's time to share the love. This card is all about karma, you know? Like, what you put out into the world comes back to you, but it's also about recognizing that you're not in this alone, you know. Like, you have resources, you have talents, you have love to give, and you also have people in your life who are ready to support you. Remember that Nine of Wands energy, about needing to be resilient? Well, the Six of Pentacles is saying that you don't have to do it all alone. It's about creating a flow, right? This card is a reminder that true abundance isn't just about having a lot of stuff. It's about having enough to share, and it's also about being open to receiving help when you need it. It is like the universe sees your growth and wants to reward you. Remember the Lovers? Like that big decision about partnership? The Six of Pentacles is all about building a relationship or any kind of partnership based on mutual respect, generosity, and a willingness to support each other. It's like creating a circle of abundance where everyone benefits, you know? Maybe you're in a position to mentor someone, or to donate to a cause that you believe in, or even just to offer a listening ear to a friend in need. And remember the Fool, that leap of faith. Now it's time to use what you've learned to help others along the way. So, what does this mean for your divine partnership, right? Well, maybe it means being more generous with your time and attention, or maybe it means being more open to receiving love and support from your partner. It is about bringing that balancing energy we have been talking about into your relationship. It could also mean creating a shared vision for how you want to give back to the world together. Maybe you want to volunteer your time, or start a business that has a social mission, or just be more intentional about the way you spend your money. And remember that clear quartz dragon energy. It's all about balancing the give and take, balancing your own needs with the needs of others, and trusting that the universe will always provide. It's like you've created this beautiful foundation. Now it's time to share the abundance with the world. You know. Okay, my friend, so you pick the Selenite point, which is all about nurturing, and your theme is tender echoes, the unspoken needs that yearn for acknowledgement. So right away, this tells me that this reading is going to be about really gently looking at what you need, what you really need, you know? Not just what you think you need, but the deeper stuff. So let's get into these cards. Okay, wow. We have the Four of Pentacles, the Knight of Wands, and the Ten of Swords. What a journey, right? So, seeing the Four of Pentacles first, I immediately feel this sense of, holding on really tightly to something. Maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's a belief, maybe it's a way of doing things. But it's like you're gripping it so hard that your knuckles are white, you know? And it's probably something that you think is keeping you safe, right? In your comfort zone. But here's the thing, with that Knight of Wands right next to it, it's like this burst of energy is coming in to shake things up. The Knight of Wands is all about passion, adventure, and just going for it. And this is a big but, it can also be kind of impulsive, you know? Not really thinking things through, just charging ahead. So I feel like you're in this place where you're holding on super tight to something, and then bam. This Knight of Wands energy comes in, and it's like, nope, we're doing things differently now. And honestly, it might feel really exciting at first. Yes. Adventure, freedom. But then the Ten of Swords. Ouch, that's like hitting rock bottom, right? Everything just crumbles. So I'm seeing this as a potential pattern, you get really comfortable, maybe too comfortable, then you get this urge to just break free and do something totally wild. But because it's not really thought out, it ends up crashing and burning. You know what I mean. But it's not all bad news. Because the Ten of Swords is also about endings that lead to new beginnings. It's about clearing the slate so you can build something stronger. And with the Selenite's nurturing energy, it's like, this is all happening so you can finally acknowledge those unspoken needs and start taking care of yourself in a deeper way. So maybe, instead of clinging or impulsively running, there's a middle ground. Okay, wow, so now we have the Four of Swords, right after that Ten of Swords. Okay, so, after that crash and burn, it's like the universe is throwing you a lifeline, you know? Okay, time out. You need to just, chill. I feel like this Four of Swords is really interesting here. It's like, after all that drama with the Knight of Wands and that Ten of Swords, the universe is basically forcing you to take a break. You know, with the Selenite being all about nurturing, this isn't just any break, it's about really nurturing yourself. What does true rest even look like for you? Because here's the thing, it might not be what you think, right? Sometimes we think rest is just binge watching TV or scrolling through social media, but that's just numbing out, you know? This Four of Swords is calling for a deeper kind of rest. A rest that actually heals you, that refills your cup. Maybe it's meditation, maybe it's spending time in nature, maybe it's just finally saying no to all those commitments that are draining you. And thinking about the divine partnership thing, maybe this rest is about taking a break from the idea of a partnership. You've been so focused on finding someone or fixing a relationship that you've forgotten about yourself, you know? This is a chance to just be with yourself, to really get to know yourself again, and to figure out what you truly want and need. But I also feel like there's a warning here, too. You might be tempted to use this rest as a way to avoid dealing with the real issues, you know? Like, to just hide away and pretend everything's okay. But that's not what this is about. This is about recharging so you can come back stronger, so you can face those challenges with a clear head and a full heart. So it's about a very active form of rest. I wonder if the next card is going to show how you can best use this time to really, prepare for the next chapter, or maybe it'll show what could happen if you don't take this rest seriously. Okay, I'm so curious. Okay, so after all that, after the clinging, the chaos, the crash, and the much-needed rest, we have judgment. Wow. Okay, so if the Four of Swords was the universe whispering, take a break. Judgment is the universe, blasting a trumpet right in your ear, wake up, it's time. But what is it time for? Okay, so judgment is all about, a calling, right? It's about, a major life review, a reckoning. And with the Selenite and that theme of tender echoes, I'm feeling like this isn't just any old wake-up call, This is about finally acknowledging those unspoken needs and answering the call of your soul, what have you been ignoring? What have you been pushing down? What have you been afraid to face? And thinking about that divine partnership thing, maybe this judgment card is about, a judgment of the partnership, or maybe about your approach to partnerships in general. Have you been judging yourself too harshly? Have you been settling for less than you deserve? Or have you been, idealizing relationships and then getting crushed when they don't live up to your expectations, Maybe this is a call to have some self-compassion around relationships. But I also feel like this could be about, a second chance, After the Ten of Swords, it's easy to feel like everything's over, right? You've messed up too badly, you're too broken to be loved, or you're not worthy of a great partnership. But judgment is saying, nope, that's not the end of the story. You're being called to rise from the ashes, to forgive yourself, and to step into a new version of yourself, a version that is worthy of love, a version that does know what they need, and a version ready for that divine partnership. So, practically speaking, what does this look like? Maybe it's finally having that honest conversation with yourself, or with someone else that you've been avoiding. Maybe it's making a bold move, like leaving a dead-end job or ending a toxic relationship. Or maybe it's just finally admitting to yourself what you truly desire and starting to take steps towards it, no matter how scary it feels, It's like letting yourself be reborn. This feels like a huge turning point, honestly. I'm so curious to see what the next card brings because it feels like it could go either way, depending on how you answer this call. Okay, so after that judgment card, seriously, what a moment, right? Okay, so now we have the strength card. Ooh, I love this. Okay, so if judgment was the universe blasting the trumpet, strength is okay, now you've heard the call, do you have the guts to actually answer it, And with the Selenite's nurturing vibes, it's not about, brute force. It's not about, gritting your teeth and pushing through, It's about gentle power. It's about finding that inner reservoir of strength and using it to, tame your inner demons, Not defeat them, but tame them. Because, let's be real, after the Ten of Swords, there are probably a few demons running around in your head, right? Doubts, fears, insecurities, that whole party. But here's the thing, the strength card isn't about pretending those demons don't exist. It's about acknowledging them, understanding them, and then, choosing to respond with compassion and courage. Maybe that voice in your head is telling you that you're not good enough, or that you'll never find love, or that you're destined to repeat the same mistakes over and over again. Strength is about saying, okay, I hear you, but I'm not going to let you control me, And I think that's so key after that judgment card, because judgment can feel so overwhelming, like you have to fix everything all at once. But strength is saying, no, take it one step at a time, be gentle with yourself. You've got this. And thinking about that divine partnership thing, maybe the strength card is about, finding the strength to be vulnerable, To open your heart to someone, even after you've been hurt. Or maybe it's about having the strength to walk away from a relationship that isn't serving you, even if it's scary. It's about really knowing your boundaries and sticking to them and really honoring yourself. It's about having strength in your convictions. And, sometimes the strongest thing you can do is ask for help. So, practically speaking, what does this look like? Maybe it's starting a new self-care routine, Like something that nourishes your body, mind, and soul. Maybe it's finally setting that boundary with someone who's been draining your energy. Or maybe it's just like looking in the mirror and saying, I love you, even with all your flaws. I feel like this card is really encouraging you to be your own best friend and to remember that you are stronger than you think, especially given the cards so far. But I also feel like there's a warning here, too. Like, you might be tempted to, skip over this step, to just try to muscle your way through things without really acknowledging your wounds. But that's not what this is about. This is about true, lasting strength, the kind that comes from within. I wonder if the next card is going to show how you can best tap into that inner strength, or maybe it'll show what could happen if you try to bypass this process and rely on, a false sense of strength. Okay, I'm so ready for the next card. Okay, wow, okay, so after all that inner work, after finding your strength, we get the Nine of Pentacles. Yes. So, after all the chaos and the soul-searching, it's like you're finally creating this space of security and abundance for yourself, you've earned it. This card is all about, independence and feeling really good in your own skin and just, enjoying the good things in life. And with that Selenite energy, it's not just about material possessions, It's about nurturing yourself with those things that truly make you happy and feel fulfilled. Maybe you've finally created a home that feels like a sanctuary, or maybe you're investing in your health and well-being, or maybe you're just, treating yourself to things that bring you joy guilt-free, And thinking about that divine partnership thing, maybe this is about realizing that you don't need a partner to feel complete, that you can create a beautiful and fulfilling life on your own. You're the whole package. You've got this. But I also feel like there's a little bit of a warning here, too. With all that independence and abundance, it could be easy to become a little isolated, To get so comfortable in your own little world that you forget to connect with others. Maybe you're so focused on your own goals that you're not making time for friends and family, or maybe you're just, afraid to let anyone get too close, You're so worried about getting hurt again that you're building walls around yourself. So, I think the key here is to find a balance, To enjoy your independence and abundance, but also to stay open to connection and to nurture your relationships. Maybe it's about being more intentional about reaching out to loved ones, or maybe it's about joining a community of like-minded people, or maybe it's just about being willing to be vulnerable and let someone see the real you, It's you've built this beautiful garden, now you need to invite people in to share it with you. But also make sure they appreciate the garden, Don't just let anyone trample all over it. So, practically speaking, what does this look like? Maybe it's about setting boundaries with people who drain your energy, or maybe it's about being more open to receiving love and support from those who care about you. Or maybe it's just about taking some time to appreciate all the good things in your life and to be grateful for all that you have. This is beautiful, honestly. I'm so curious to see what the next card brings, because it feels like it could either show you how to maintain this balance, or maybe it'll show what happens if you become too isolated. I wonder. Okay, friend, after all of that, after building that beautiful Nine of Pentacles life, we have the moon. Oh wow, okay, so this is interesting. This feels like a call to really trust your intuition, After all that hard work, it's time to listen to that inner voice. So the moon is all about mystery and the subconscious, right? It's about those hidden things that are bubbling beneath the surface. And with the Selenite's nurturing energy, this is about gently exploring those hidden places within yourself, What are you afraid to look at? What are you sensing, but not quite acknowledging? Maybe there are some old wounds that still need healing, or maybe there are some dreams that you're afraid to pursue, The moon is asking you to trust your gut, even when things feel uncertain or unclear. And after the Nine of Pentacles, it's okay, you've built this solid foundation, but what's next? The moon is saying, don't just stay comfortable, keep exploring. And there's always a but, right? The moon can also be about illusion and fear, Getting lost in your own head and letting your anxieties run wild. So, the challenge here is to not let those fears paralyze you, To not let your imagination get the best of you. And thinking back to that Ten of Swords, maybe there's a fear of repeating past mistakes or a fear of getting hurt again. But the moon is saying, you're stronger now, you've learned from those experiences. Trust yourself to navigate the darkness. And practically speaking, what does this look like? Maybe it's about starting a dream journal or practicing meditation or just spending more time in nature, anything that helps you connect with your intuition. And thinking about that divine partnership thing, the moon could be about the illusion of what you think a partnership should be, maybe you're holding onto some unrealistic expectations. Or maybe you're afraid to be vulnerable and show your true self to someone. So this is about trusting your intuition about relationships, if something feels off, don't ignore it. And remember that Selenite energy, nurturing yourself first, and then bringing that wholeness to a partnership. Ultimately, friend, the moon is a reminder that the answers you seek are within you. Trust yourself, be gentle with yourself, and keep exploring. You've got this.